To most people out there, they're going to think this is unreal. The news is coming out of nowhere. They don't know what they're looking at, but you understand. I know we've been following this for a long time. The nonstop winning for XRP is just beginning, and it's not random. It's not out of nowhere. We've known this is coming, and this is absolutely huge. Now, we had this announcement today. Is this real or not? This would be a big one. Aramco XRP oil tokenization bombshell or community fantasy. This is what I posted today. A stunning document is circulating that claims Saudi Aramco will tokenize oil using XRP Ledger through a project called White Rock. Now, understand this. There's some basis to believe this. SBI and Aramco have done stuff in the past. This would make some sense, putting your oil contracts on the ledger and, making your trading more efficient, more liquid. Yeah, that makes some sense. But, if this is the real deal, if you have Aramco doing something like this, it would be the biggest utility announcement in the XRP ledger history. This is my, as of now, the way I see it, cool concept, probably fake. If this is real, this isn't just going to, be leaked out by some shady accounts on X. Like, this is going to be announced to the world in a big way. And if this is real, and it could be, that's the thing. But if it's real, you're going to hear about it likely sometime at XRP Las Vegas. If you don't hear it there, I don't think this is really going down. But it makes a lot of sense. Something like this could come out in the future, of course. But to me, this document looks either like it was faked or it's something you would show in a presentation. So we'll see how it plays out. Now, a lot of people are saying RWAs aren't going to move the price of XRP. They're full of it. The more utility, the more real-world value you have flowing through the XRP ledger, for a ton of reasons, it's going to move the price of XRP. If you really had Saudi Aramco going live on the XRP ledger, trading oil contracts, you have no idea if they really scaled that and they were using it in a significant way, what it would do to the price of XRP. Maybe it's not Saudi Aramco, maybe it's someone else. But if we get some traction with a big player like this, it's going to be a game changer. Don't listen to this RWA stuff, won't affect XRP. It's nonsense. Now, confirmed and massive news, we know. This is the thing. We got so much big news, we don't need to make up fake news. Ripple quietly just unlocked institutional crypto swaps in the United States. This is a game changer. Their new acquisition, Hidden Road, already paying dividends, already doing big moves here. Now offering cash-settled over-the-counter swaps on major crypto assets, and it's live now and in the United States. That's a big deal because they've been doing everything overseas, and they're going to continue expanding full speed ahead overseas, but now you're adding in that U.S. market. That's a totally game changer. It's adding a major market to their already robust network here. Prime broker, institutional grade, regulated by the FCA. Ripple, what are they doing? They're building the Wall Street of crypto, and it's already operational. It's already running, and this is just the beginning. Bill Morgan saying the following: the news of Vivo Power selling 20,000 of its ordinary shares to raise funds to become an XRP digital asset treasury strategy is remarkable. Now, I covered this yesterday, but I didn't bring this up. I'm not insinuating that anyone should go out and buy Vivo Power. If only life was so easy as just put a little XRP in the balance sheet and you're going to be successful. We know it doesn't work like that. I'm not saying that this is a great company to buy, or it's not. I don't know anything about it, but this is going to be a trend of companies, keeping crypto on their balance sheet as a treasury strategy. It's not just going to be Bitcoin. You're going to see more. In XRP, we're seeing a flurry of these things. We'll cover it here in a little bit. But Vivo Power, they intend to raise $121 million. It plans to spend 62% of the sum of on accumulating XRP. That's a lot of XRP they're going to be buying and putting on their balance sheet. But even more important, even more exciting here is this. It also intends to invest into the XRP Ledger ecosystem to grow utility and adoption for XRP for real-world DeFi solutions. 8% of the funds raised will be invested in XRP Ecosystem Venture Development Fund. That's big. Why? Because if more companies do this, if you see companies start to invest in this ecosystem, what happens? Well, it becomes vastly more decentralized. If you want to do something big, something that costs a lot of money right now, it's got to come from Ripple. They're the ones with the money. It's not that they have control over the network. They got the pocketbooks to make it happen. You start adding, new companies building and investing on the XRP ledger, man, it's going to be an explosion of value. And it just makes the network that much more decentralized. It's not just about settling transactions and the functionality. There's a lot of components to this. And if we see people like Vivo Power making these investments in various, startups that are going to be rolling out DeFi and the XRP ledger, that's a game changer, and that's a shift. That's a shift that we haven't seen. Now, we see Tony from Thinking Crypto saying this. Another one. This is Weebus International looking to buy $300 million worth of XRP to establish a strategic reserve for their company here. This is the third company to announce in the past 24 hours that are buying XRP as a treasury asset. The haters are in shambles, and absolutely, this is a top 3 cryptocurrency. People are going to look and say, MicroStrategies have had success with what they're doing. Those companies are going to be using Ethereum. You best believe they're going to be people that decide to go the XRP route. That's what we're seeing. Yeah, these are small companies. Guess what? MicroStrategies was small too when it started, and crypto helped it balloon up into the behemoth that it is today. And if people do this without taking on excessive amounts of debt, that's something that I think can be successful long term. Now, today they had a task force meeting. Paul Atkins, the current chair of the SEC, mentioned the lawsuit between the SEC and Ripple. And he said the following: they are doing their best to resolve the case as swiftly as possible, and there should be a solution by the end of this week. So let's hope they're able to get this wrapped up. It should happen. You have the SEC, they don't want to continue. You have Ripple, they don't want to continue. The judge should not force people to keep suing each other. I understand her actions to make them, put this clearly in writing, why she should change her original ruling. That's fine, but we got to get this done, and I think we will. Unless the judge comes back, Judge Torres, was something nonsensical and won't let this thing end. I'd be surprised, but it could happen. Remember, this stuff turns political. We'll see it. We'll see here fairly shortly. But what I would say is, one way or the other, this thing's going to be over. And we're going to see regulations here shortly as well. Big development for crypto. I love to see this. Eleanor Terrett saying the SEC and Binance have filed a joint stipulation seeking dismissal in the agency's ongoing litigation against the exchange. So it's not just Ripple. They're trying to get rid of all these ridiculous cases, which is what we want to see. We don't want them attacking other people in crypto either. This is going to allow this space to really flourish and grow here in the United States. Another big development from the SEC. Today, the SEC issued guidance on activities involving staking and proof-of-stake consensus mechanism, just like they classify proof of work in their mining guidance, saying, you know what? That's not a security activity. That's fine. They're saying the same thing now with proof of stake. This isn't just Ethereum. This is a lot of your, especially smart contract blockchains, your flares this would involve, most of them out there, ADA, Solana, all of this. And I think this is going to clear the way for ETFs that are going to be very popular because people can invest in them and then earn dividends back on either, a quarterly, biannual basis, things like that. That's going to be popular. Holding an ETF, earning more crypto back as you go forward, and appreciating asset, that's going to be something the market likes, in my opinion here. We had the CEO of Anthropic. He's saying, listen, mass layoffs are coming, but no one's talking about it. He's saying every time he sees a CEO, a tech CEO specifically, an AI CEO, they're like, hey, don't worry about it. Yeah, we're going to take some jobs, but, it'll create new ones. He's saying nonsense. We got to prepare. We have to have a serious conversation and do so now. The timeline before this gets serious, well, he doesn't have a crystal ball, but he's saying 1 to 5 years. This is running up on us quick. And he says when he talks to CEOs in private, they know it's coming. And they're like, man, this is going to be huge. But they're not saying it publicly. The government's ignoring this. Industry's ignoring this. He's saying we could be headed for anywhere from 10 to 20% unemployment quickly. Remember this. I don't know what the unemployment was in 08, 09. What was it? 12%, 11%. That was catastrophic. 20%, we're talking about Great Depression level unemployment. And the thing was, that was temporary. We knew we'd get by it. This is not. This is a new baseline. They're talking about wiping out, kind of low-level, entry-level jobs in accounting, in finance, in law, like just getting rid of them forever, and all sorts of other things that will never come back. And if you don't have people getting into startup, how will they grow to learn to do the more, upper echelon services and stuff like that. And it's just going to keep going up the ladder over time. He's like, we got to address this. We got to address that now. And I thought that was a novel approach. Again, most people will tell you, hey, everything's going to be fine. He's saying, no, it will not unless we prepare. Lark Davis, bringing up a good point. He's saying, are you worried that we've topped the cycle? Now, he's talking about specifically Bitcoin, but that would extrapolate throughout the crypto space. I've seen some people that think this is it. It's game over. We've already went as high as you can. He's saying, look, there's compelling evidence specifically for Bitcoin that says we have not. I don't even think you've seen anything from the altcoin space just yet. What you've seen from XRP, that's playing catch up. That's all. You have not seen growth within altcoins to date. Just look at Ethereum. Where's the growth? I haven't seen it, and on down the line. We're not there yet. We're going to get there. He's saying, look at the funding rate. This is the price that traders are paying when they're taking leverage. Funding rates close to zero. Well, that's an indicator of a stable market. And funding rates, they go far below zero in extreme bearishness or far above when things are bullish. And so when you're in an all-out bull run, you'll see that funding rate go wild. We're not seeing that now. We're seeing stability. This is not the top of a bull run. This is not pandemonium. This is just a stable market ready to take its next step up. We're going to get there. Let me know what you think down below. As always, please like, please subscribe. The revolution will be televised right here on Jungle Link.